Greetings everyone, and welcome to Legacies of Caine. Yes, it's the Vampire the Masquerade, a show where we have a bunch of vampires go on crazy adventures and do vampire stuff. Of course, for you out there who are joining us for the first time, we are indeed quite far into the adventure. Most of the old ones are linked and in a collection here on either Twitch or YouTube. Though granted, if you're just popping in to see what's up here, we are playing the 20th anniversary of Vampire the Masquerade, V20, and our team of characters here are on the trail of something related to Caine in the First City. They found 3 goblets. They found 1 goblet very early on in their adventures, went through a whole lot of shit, managed to find 2 more of them, and then they found out that it has a kind of map in it. In using that map, which is a kind of like word puzzle that's supposed to tell you where it is. You know, it's that entire kind of like cryptic stuff you get sometimes. It led them to meet up with a friendly neighborhood.
Spider-Man.
Cappadocian.
Actually, no, it was technically a Spider-Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well,
and she told her a few...
You went to meet with a Cappadocian lady, found out her sire there when she was already an elder, so it's like, oh, even older one is there, and he basically is like, hey, I can take you to the Plane of the Dead, where there is a shadow version of the First City, and maybe some hints as to what you're looking for, but you have to help me out by talking with all these people. They started their globe-trotting adventures, which took them to Turkey, and now it's taking them to Poland. And they have a list of people that they have to contact from around the world. So that's great. Of which, they've got hints at most of them. There's a few question marks in their list of people to contact, but they're on their way to the first one at least. A Cappadocian...
there's a lot of question marks.
Mm-hmm. A nice Cappadocian lady who's totally part of the Sabat and runs a biker gang that includes vampires and mortals. And they're heading to Poland to meet with her. After
so far, so good.
Going to Romania and making friends with the biker gang there.
Hell yeah.
Leslie should remember that one. But anyway. So... let us start with the people
that was an unfortunate series of rolls that game. Anyway.
Let's hit to going clockwise. So let's start with Jess and Dawn. How's Dawn doing?
Well, Dawn is in a biker gang now, so pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
She's kind of thinking maybe she can just forget all about the True Bruja family shit and just be a biker. They seem pretty fun. Less responsibility by the seams of it. So, you know. Biker Dawn.
Biker Dawn. And Carpe, how's Nathan doing?
Oh, you know, fine.
For once, he was able to send someone else in to do the dirt talking and didn't get killed.
And they did a good job.
I know, it's surprising.
We our stats say we should have done better, but we rolled terribly.
Until I hit that karaoke.
It's true, yeah.
Overall, they succeeded, and that's good.
What matters.
Yes. We've got a whole bunch of dangerous stuff we gotta mess with, but we probably won't get killed doing it. And if I recall correctly, this was the one we were most likely to get killed doing, so if we can survive this one, the rest of them should be cake.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
And, Worm, how's Emil doing?
Emil's doing good. Kind of a little bit, annoyed at how, showed up he was at that. not by Dawn, but by the other bikers. Yeah. He is, but otherwise he's doing fine, and he'll recover.
Emil to Poland after that arm wrestling.
Yep. Just see us both with like these like giant dumbbells.
No. Anyway, as our group though goes into Poland proper, having kind of snuck in on a small plane. Not that they're not announcing that they're traveling, but they're keeping out of the large borders. And Romania and Poland are both
keeping out of the eye of the vampires, not necessarily the actual not the actual policies.
Yeah. I mean, it's all part of the EU, easy to cross borders in that area at least, so hey, advantage to you folks at that point in time. But before we dive into Polish adventures, we have to go back in time. For
customs, that's the word.
Did we just skip Nathan? Or did I?
No.
No, Nathan's just fine.
He's just fine.
I'm doing okay.
He didn't really have to do much last time.
Never mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
We actually Don and Emil played the face for once.
Yeah, it was real impressive.
So that did not go well, I assume.
It was the bikers.
It went bad until Dawn
broke out
Britney Spears on a karaoke machine and rocked it hard.
Nathan, I'm disappointed you didn't get in on that.
Oh, I was in the car.
I mean,
he was just like enjoying like classical. I just imagine you just doing classical music, like lying back in the car.
See, I now have this mental image of Nathan's guilty pleasure being "It's Britney, bitch," and I love it.
Actually, my guilty pleasure is all of those newfangled bands that keep playing all those modern songs, but in nice swing.
Oh, that's a mood.
So, we go back a couple of months.
Like that Richard Cheese gentleman.
To a big explosion deep under the city of New York. There's a big boom, crashing rocks, crushing. And someone asleep for a while. Quiet. And finally wake up. Leslie found himself buried. Buried under tons of rubble. Buried effectively alive. Time meant nothing to him at that point in time, as his efforts to escape at first were met with failure. You're crushed. Parts of your body are probably ravaged. An entire arm you can't move. All you have that you can tell exists is a sword in your hand still, and that you still have that hand. And you're pretty sure you have at least one of your legs. Then again, you're vampire, so it's hard to feel stuff about you. Time means nothing when you're deep under there. And eventually, though, your mind just kind of wandered off, as what any would do in a situation like that, where you're an immortal buried alive. Vampires find sleep. And you did. Only to awaken in a very strange situation. You wake up in a dark room. A small lantern with a little fire in it is the only light that's doing it. You're on some kind of slab of stone.
Well then. Can't say this is the first time it's happened, but not entirely a situation I enjoy being in. Leslie's just gonna take a look around, see if there's anything he can see besides this slab of stone. And take stock of his body parts.
You're missing your left arm.
Remind me, was that the one that had the demon in it, or was it the right arm?
That was the one that had the demon in it. Or at least I'm saying that now, because for the god of me, I can't remember which arm I said, so I'm saying left arm.
The arm with the demon in it is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody hell, I was having fun with that.
But there's like a horrible actual pain in where the stump should be.
Which arm was holding the sword?
Right arm, I think.
Right
Because
arm.
my left arm's my left hand's my shooting hand. He's just gonna reach over and probe the, I guess, flesh that's still left behind.
You reach out to where your arm should be, and you don't see anything, but there's something there.
Are you still here after all, demon?
I wouldn't mess with that if I were you, child.
Why do I recognize that voice?
We met some time ago. Weeks, months. You woke me from my slumber.
Oh, fuck.
Don't worry. I found you and brought you here. A favor to one that would rescue me from myself. It is not
Going to need a bit more information than that, Smeeche. Last we met, I did happen to stab you. And incite further violence, and I recall you saying... what was it? We were enemies? Yes, I believe that was the word.
You just hear this kind of crunching noise from wherever he's like, because he's kind of like, you can tell where direction he's coming from, and now that you're kind of looking over that way, you can see like almost him in the shadows, like in like his back to you, messing with something, manipulating it. And the noise is kind of like a squishy, crunching noise that it records, like, you know, like you see his like almost like clawed hands move back as if he's like manipulating something.
If that's my arm, I would prefer if you don't eat it.
No. I don't eat things such as yourself. Give me indigestion.
Indeed, but you do have a talent for taking flesh and reusing it, it seems. Why am I here? Why did you...
That's all it is, a whim.
Fancy whim, that.
I have many. I have had many over the years. But don't you worry. There are things that need to be done before you can leave.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Oh.
And...
It's not on my account. I'm busy. I have work to do before I sleep again. It is not time yet. I'm not sure how long this time. Months, years, centuries. We'll see.
if I may be so bold as to ask, who would an antediluvian be doing a favor for that they would take interest in me?
If you want to know, ask your sire.
Oh, fuck. Hello, Dad. Are you here as well?
He's not. He remains in his holes in Europe as far as I know. But you must be famished. Let's see how low you've gone. You'll see him like kind of reach over to like a chain on the wall and start pulling it, as like kind of like grating the floor, kind of like pull up, and you just see like a writhing mass of rats.
Delicious.
Unless you want something from me. You can't see it, but you're telling he's just smiling when he says that.
Far be it from me to pass up an offered meal, I suppose. I guess Leslie's gonna get some blood points back.
Yep.
In the most delicious way possible.
I mean,
Rats.
Samuel would approve.
I was
I
gonna
was
say,
gonna
it's
say,
like
I
Samuel and Leslie are back.
Yeah. You gorge yourself on the rats. You didn't realize there for a moment, but you were completely out of blood. As if your unconscious states had kept you in control for a second. But just the sight of actually something that seems reasonable drives you to quickly feed in a very furious manner. Until you like savage many rats. You just like drain them, throw them back into the pool, and as you see them throw back in the pool, they cannibalize the corpses of those that you've eaten.
Oh.
At least it's not humans in a bar this time. Or a park. Or alleyway. Or
Oh no.
street.
Yeah, that did happen.
A lovely meal, thank you. Your hospitality is most appreciated.
Well, there's more to this thing. Meets the eye. You are...
Do tell.
Well, I couldn't have my brother return to this world. Not yet. He is too impatient. Many of my siblings are impatient.
Your brother.
You were touched by more than mere forces of the abyss.
Leslie's... If his face was capable of going any more pale than it already is, it would do so. Your brother is...
We are all children of Caine, and I am the children of his children directly. And from amongst us, there rose many, 13 of power. You
Go
should
on.
speak the name of that who sired your blood.
Last time I played with things like that, it did not seem like a good idea.
Sombra.
Leslie's just gonna, like, see if
Laza.
anything happens.
Omri Baras.
Rain is here.
Shit, really?
Well, that didn't have quite the effect I was expecting. Is that a servant of yours?
No. Lucian, the Shadowed One. So many names. But perhaps you wish for his real one.
I'd rather not.
Shadows hide many things. The shadows hide you. Step into the darkness and see what they hide.
I get to sleep in the raw for 2 weeks. Because back to the shorts. I don't want to
I'm just like looking like, it's like, who's he talking to?
The darkness.
Yeah, naturally. Literally or metaphorically.
Take a step forward and you'll see.
Don't really have a choice. Leslie will take a step forward.
Now you see it. You do have a left arm. a horrible, monstrous, demonic-looking left arm.
Hmm.
The light hides the darkness that has inscribed you. When I saved you, it both cut something off, but it left something behind.
This
The
is just admiring his
light
arm.
hides it. When it's dark, you don't feel it, do you? In the light. In the dark, it's there. Almost seems like my work. But it isn't.
A little too dark for that, I think. You tend more towards the pinks and the whites.
And like there's a splurt of blood actually from what he's working on. And the reds.
Of course.
One down. So many to go. You take a step back as this massive, like, brutish thing made of flesh and bone takes a step up. It towers over you, maybe 9 or 10 feet tall. The creature looks built for murder, with armor of bones and spines and claws of bone. A mess's flesh brute that he just have seemingly been working on. Some kind of guardian, perhaps.
You're a fair bit bigger than the last of your kind I saw.
This thing here is merely a pet. There are many pets in this world.
That's a pet to you.
All of my blood is my pet. It is for me to decide what to do with them. As all of us, of the brother and sisterhood, have always decided. Granted, some of us are more direct than others. Some exist within the minds of their children, driving them to madness. Others in the shadows of their very power. Some feign death, existing within those that have supposedly slain them. Myself. I lost myself and called to them all. Until I was stopped. A few joined with me. What's left of them is usable. So yes, perhaps this is one of my blood. At least, the raw mechanics of it.
I mean, no offense by this, but I am glad I am not of your blood.
You'll see a wry smile kind of cross his face. Because, like, he himself kind of looks a little monstrous, you know? There's just something unnatural about everything about him. Just the
Is he still like the emaciated figure that rose out of the sarcophagus?
He's still relatively emaciated. He seems to have a little bit more to him. But now you can see, like, this, like, without the emaciation, he's just kind of, like, something wrong about it. Like, just the shape of, like, his entire face, his body, just seems slightly wrong. Like, everything in him has been changed or modified.
Mm-hmm. Well, then, on to more pressing matters, I suppose. How long has it been?
I'm unsure. Time has no meaning when you're deep underground like this. Sealed away. I've had my work to do. Setting up my guardians. Laying down traps so I may sleep again. As I said, it is not time yet. My attempts to usurp the clock failed, and I accept that. Now your true sire's attempts have failed. As he kind of like points to your arm and then turns back to the table to start working on more material. Now you can see that like the thing he's working on isn't just like this kind of large metal object with a flat top. It seems to be some kind of pool of material.
Am I able to get a better look at what it is?
Probably people pool.
Okay.
It's flesh, blood, bone, all kind of mixed together into like a slurry that he's forming into shapes and kind of crafting with very little effort.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna play with my arm and touch it and feel it, or see if I can feel it, or if my hand passes through it.
You can feel it. It feels physical now, but it's like an odd thing because like when you were in the light and you couldn't see it, you felt there was something there, but you couldn't like feel it, as if it was like something which is unusual because you're a vampire. It was almost like it was like a dead arm, you know, like the nerves were completely dead. So when you couldn't see it, you might have been doing something with it, you just didn't know. Now, when you can see it, you can kind of feel it.
Does it still hurt in the darkness?
No.
Interesting. And do you know anything about this? Just gonna sort of wave it a bit.
It's more than just an offshoot of your power. That much I can tell.
Is it connected to him?
A bit. It's connected to the abyss. It is, of course, made of shadow. But it's also connected to that. As he kind of like halfway turns around and points as back towards like where you were, leaning against the tables, of course. I'm current. It takes from its master to give power. The opposite of the other blade. One that drinks, one that takes, both of power.
May I?
It is yours. A blade such as that is a blade of terrible strength. Because it gives you connection to the abyss. There are more to that than meets the eye.
Is he gonna walk over and pick up his sword? Or blade?
Of course, when you go into the light, your arm fades away. Once again into non-existence.
Leslie's gonna change his mind a little bit. Knowing that his arm is still there, he's going to try and pick up the sword with his arm, abyss arm.
Uh-huh. You actually will manipulate it and hold it up.
Is it just appearing as if floating?
Like, now that the sword is in the hand, you actually are getting distortions. That you can see your arm is not completely invisible. It just pretty much disappears in the light.
I'm going to pass the sword back to my other hand and see what happens.
The distortions from the sword being in your hand fade, and now it's just completely invisible. It seems as though when you pick something up, it creates... It's close enough to it that the... whatever bending of light or lack of existence from this arm that happens disappear. It gets ruined a little bit.
Well, this is going to be fun.
Something is noticeable. But the thing is, like, even when you picked it up, like, you could tell you were having trouble a little bit, because it's like you're imagining it, but you can't feel that you're doing it.
Oh, we lost Dawn.
We lost Dawn. I will not fix the cameras yet. We'll worry about her getting back for a minute. Leslie is the only one speaking, and Leslie has a picture, so we're okay. And it's my forehead. Hi, everybody. Forehead. I'll stand up like this.
Man, I've got a hell of a delay to the stream, apparently. Oh, there he goes.
The stream delay is question mark a lot of the time.
Well, I have a forehead at least.
My
That's
dear
nice.
DM, you have a lovely forehead.
I do. Oh, Dawn's back, so it's okay.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Much better.
Well then. Should I call you Simiche? Is there something else you would prefer? I don't exactly have experience addressing one of your stature. Are there rules? Are there the etiquette behind it?
There
This is-
always is. But you are my guest. For now. And you can tell the old codger that his blood's bound to me, has been repaid once you meet him. Is his
I will.
sire still about?
My sire's sire?
Yes.
Do I know that?
You don't know.
I'm afraid I am not sure. I have not spoken with my dear sire in many years. And even then, he did not talk freely of himself.
So much lost blood, the soil. Years of battles between the children. It was almost the right time for me to rise up. But no. There must be another time, a more ingratiated time, where we will all come forth and teach you the ways. Though perhaps some of you are still not without hope.
So when next we meet, then,
Give yourself time to recover. Make sure your blood is fine, and you're ready to meet the world with a piece of demon planned. For you know as good as I, those simpering children would not enjoy the fact that you'll be flaunting yourself to the world.
no, but it is rather fun, is it not?
Fun is every move I make of my hands. Every piece of skin, every muscle, every bone I shape, every organ I give it. The eyes, as he's holding up an eyeball, being placed in the correct place, manipulating them to see what you want them to see. Nose, ears, tongue, skin, all in place, all where it needs to be. Finding the exact beauty in the flesh. Long have I enjoyed the sculpting of it all. Long have I enjoyed my gift to my blood. There are so many things out there that could be manipulated, could be given away. Well, there's much to do, though. For me and for you. You should take some time. Find yourself. And be ready.
I shall. Thank you again. I don't know. I guess just...
You can take some time, rest up and recover. And, after a while, though...
I'm gonna play with my arm a bit and see if I can... see what I can get up to with it.
Okay. Your arm, as you figure it, is some kind of manifestation of living shadow that's seemingly directly connected to you. You can tell that Ein Current definitely seems stronger than it was before. You think that maybe the reason what's left over there is because it gave you something with your own power in place of what it took. When what was left was destroyed beyond belief. It took much from you. It fed much from you, as it did feed from you before. But now the blade itself is of great strength. And your arm, you begin to learn how to use it and how to hide it. It becomes easier. Because it is made of shadow also. As much as you can see it in the darkness, you can also have it blend in with the darkness. Granted, it takes a little effort, but you could hide it if you wanted to, no matter where you are. With a little concentration.
Am I able to manipulate it like I can manipulate the rest of my shadows?
From what you can see so far, no. But as you use your shadow powers, you can seemingly link it through there.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to spend some time basically trying to use it, summoning his powers out of it and seeing if it has any effect compared to normal.
It doesn't seem to have a noticeably different effect, but you feel as though you could strengthen your shadow powers.
Oh boy!
Uh-huh.
I got an arm of +1 Abyss Demon!
Alright.
I'm just saying.
And for anyone else, because my internet is... Well, it's not my internet, my Discord is fucking. So, I just said...
Oh boy, my arm is a demon.
No, it's back. Oh no.
On purpose.
Oh.
I do enjoy the Abyss. Sorry,
Candace,
Okay,
try switching the Discord server or location.
Are we? Oh, we're east. We're east. Let's switch to central. I forgot to switch it. That might help.
Is this better?
Jess, you there?
Oh, I can hear people normally again.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it was the server location.
Yeah,
I am
east
glad
sucks often.
you hear us.
It was so cursed and for a while.
Oh god. So the linking that you mentioned.
Yes.
Any with however long I spend, do I gain any insight as to this linking and what it does or what it means?
You begin to understand what the depths of Ein Current is. Ein Current is a tool to channel one's strength. In and of itself is a very powerful weapon. Meant to... It's, in a way, the opposite of the Sword of Dracula. The Sword of Dracula is made to draw on the blood of many to empower itself to do very devastating things. This is meant to bring out the best of those who are using it by drawing on their own internal power, in a way. Mm-hmm. So, using it, you can do things like give extra blood to it to seemingly enhance some of the things you can do. Game terms, it allows you to spend an extra blood point through the sword to effectively gain 2 successes on any vampiric power you are using.
Oh, damn.
Oh, shit.
That's awesome.
You can only use it once per activating the power, but it basically allows you to transfer blood very quickly into a lot of power. That's on top of using willpower.
Yeah, I mean, that's 1 blood point for 2 automatic successes.
You feel like
Dang.
you could transverse the veil, the gauntlet. In game terms, you can probably travel to a portion of the Umbra, the Abyss, but it's only on your own. Would you be able to travel that?
Oh, fuck yes.
What you think you can transverse is into the realm of near death. Or the realm of near Umbra, almost. Unfortunately, you can't travel everywhere in the Umbral realms. You are really only going towards, like, the Shadowlands and the Abyssal areas. But the area of near Umbra is still kind of, like, connected to all other places in the Umbra, including the deeper Umbra, like the Shadowlands and the Abyss. You're not sure about going deeper. But you think you could probably use that to traverse. Probably get out of here. Enter a kind of, like, ethereal plane for a little while. That requires a lot of blood, though, I have to say. Like, it is very taxing to use that, and you are not sure if you're strong enough to use it for incredibly long amounts of time.
Okay.
With a full blood pool, you think you might be able to transverse that for, at most, a day, and let me put it this way, it will require checks of certain types, which I haven't divulged to you yet, that the more you succeed, the longer you can be, the more you fail, the shorter that time is.
Okay.
There's some other abilities that you're pretty sure it has, but it's kind of hard to unlock them. You feel like you maybe have to spend more time with it. And they more kind of like... It's as if, like, the more you use it, the more you might learn more after that.
Leslie's gonna have some fun.
You're pretty sure the shadows in your arm, you can directly manipulate them. You're kind of armed to do things using some of your own creations. Like when you created, like, tentacles of shadow, you could create them out of your arm. It is shadow.
Armed to do things.
Things like that you could do.
So funny.
So, the arm doesn't enhance anything. It's basically just an invisible arm of the Abyss. But because it is still of the Abyss, of the Umbra, it is living shadow, I can create my powers out of it.
Yes.
So, it doesn't really affect things like the cloud, but...
I mean, you're pretty sure because it is a horrible clawed arm, you would totally do aggravated damage with that arm, if you wanted to do that. Very similar to the horrible amounts of aggravated damage a certain Lasombra that everybody else fought did. Very similar to that.
Oh boy. What about if I'm in the light? It's obviously invisible, but it is still there.
It's still there, but it's also weakened, you feel like. It is a thing that is anathema to the light, effectively. Because it's from a place that there probably is no light. A place of, like, living darkness. A hell demonic realm known as the Abyss.
Perhaps we could take these questions to break.
Okay, we can take our first break here. And then we'll finish up with Leslie and get him up the rest of you. Because there shouldn't be much more to do that. So, we'll get over some more questions on the break to kind of figure out everything that's going on with this stuff. And figure out kind of what's going on with Leslie. And then we'll come back in a little bit. So, if you need a drink, snack, or bathroom break, go ahead and do that. And we'll be back in a minute or two. Alright, and we're back. Oh, sorry. Whoop! Fixed it. I forgot I had the thing up to, like, read comments from you people. Anyway, so, time will pass with Leslie. Again, you're actually not sure of time. Because there's something down here that's unusual. You don't feel the call of morning at all. Something about this place seems only otherworldly. Like you're disconnected. If you inquire with Samichi about it, he will just kind of pass off that it's a gift that he's placed here.
Do I not need sleep?
You don't know.
I'm gonna try not sleeping.
I mean, you won't. You don't need to. You will never feel tired.
Neat.
You feel as though your blood will drain from your body over time, like it normally does. But normally that happens when you wake up in the morning. Like you feel like almost a draining in order to freshen yourself up. This just seems to be a natural kind of like thing that happens while you're here, whoever here is.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll spend my time down here, practicing newfound abilities and old abilities, talking to Simiche as much as he will allow, given that I'm apparently stuck in an area currently with an antediluvian, and he's not out to kill me, so I'll just spend the time talking to him and learning whatever I can.
Okay. He's not hugely talkative, but there are a few times that he will say some things. And we'll go over what he reveals to you. As we said, we'll kind of talk off stream a little bit about it. And any important information we can bring back to stream then when we're done figuring out what he would say to you, rather than going through everything.
For sure.
But after some time has passed and you're beginning to feel yourself a little bit, Simiche will finish another one of his creations and will actually speak to you first this time. Child, I think it's time you take your leave. My work is nearly done. And there are things I must do which would, well, spell your doom if left in place. When you leave, these things will no longer recognize you as friend. Know that at least.
Are you allowing me to remember this place?
Remember it all you want. Finding this place is more difficult than you think. You have mastered an ability that should allow you to leave my lair here.
Well, far be it from me to overstay my welcome. I thank you again for...
Walk the shadows like you've practiced. Find your way. And a little something. Take this and find he who gave you the blood. Let him know of what has transcribed here.
Transpired?
Whatever. English bad, me good. Transpired here. And that blood debts are paid. And perhaps if you find him, you may find your kin.
I shall.
I see many things. The flesh, the way it works. The world around us. Spirits.
Well then, I bid you good sleep and...
even some of the future. You walk a path that may awaken much more than you think. Or keep us all in slumber. Either way is fine with me. It would be interesting to see which you do.
As long as it is not awakening him.
You don't think... Ah, no. There's another, though. Another who always wakes. I see him in my mind. I know he walks. He watches. Those of us with the gift can see it. Only a few of us have ever touched him. Cappadocius, Malkov, Sabat, myself, and Arakel. We all knew. We all could have acted long ago. But destiny is a thing that is hard to manipulate. Fates are hard to see. And we have not seemed distant since all of us were together. But for now, insight is what I can give you. insight in what you must do. Head to the place known as Latvia now. You will find your sire there. And when you do not travel far. Go to where... Go to where an old Piast colony was.
Go to where?
Where the Piast dynasty once held power. You want to make some kind of intelligence history check?
Yeah, sure. Partially because I don't know if your
Piast.
mic's being a bit weird or if
Piast.
it's
Sorry, I'll put it in the chat here. Piast.
Piast. Okay, well, intelligence which?
Academics.
Ah, fuck.
Aha.
I don't have any of that, but I do have intelligence, so.
I will give you difficulty 7 for this one. It's an unusual thing, but there's a possibility you heard about it if you took some certain types of classes.
I did spend time in Europe. Let's go.
Yes. Hey,
The first roll and I'm back!
turns out you took a European history class. Piast dynasty was one of the first dynasties in Poland.
Okay.
Oh.
So he's telling you to go to Poland after the country known as Latvia.
Okay. Latvia first and then Poland.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Leslie is going to ask him real quick if he'll divulge the information, who he is referring to when he says he who walks. I have a suspicion of who it is, but or who he
Our
refers
great
to.
father still walks these lands, sire of us all. He has long since watched us from the shadows. Your path might take you to a place where you will shine some light on his hiding place. I know not if he will like that or not. It'll be interesting to see the results.
Especially since bringing light is not my usual ken.
He'll chuckle at that for just a second.
I made an antediluvian laugh. Leslie's
Run.
putting that down in his book of accomplishments. Met an antediluvian, spent months with him, didn't die, made him laugh. That's a win.
Like, antediluvians have been quiet now, but like during the Middle Ages, there were some that were active for periods of time still during those days. So it's like,
But we weren't there.
no, you weren't there, so you don't remember.
Yeah.
So like, there were times when they were active in the politics of the clans. It's just nowadays they've just disappeared into the shadows. Doesn't mean they're not reasonable. Just means they're reasonable in their own ways.
Just have to hit him with some of that good old witty humor.
I mean, you know, when you're freaking, oh god, 10,000 years old, you know, a good joke's still good.
Fair enough. Well, I guess I'll take my leave and try out that new abyss walking power.
Walking into the near Umbra is a unusual thing, even with all the tests you made of it. This place here, you feel like, as much as it was protected and sort of like had something to it, there was also something odd about it all. Because your kind of being here felt unnatural. You managed to pass through a barrier, almost slice your way through a membrane of some kind. And
Is it fleshy?
not really. It's almost like a a barrier that exists. And
Okay.
once within the penumbra, it's an unusual spirit world. It's not as much of a physical plane as you would think. But the place you are here is unusual when you're in the penumbra, the mirror realm, if you would almost call it.
Am I able to see the abyss?
You, not directly.
Hmm.
You can feel there's a touch of something in this place far deeper. As if wherever you are is maybe connected to another realm to begin with, but, like, when you're in the penumbra here, there's maybe as if there's, like a pit to here. Or to some place that's very horrible. But the problem is, you don't have access to it. You can't see it. You can't feel it.
Well, at least if I can't see it, then it can't stare back.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
It can just stare at you.
That might be worse. How does it? Do I move through space quicker, or at this? Like, if I spend, a minute walking in the penumbra, does it equate to a minute real space, Earth space? I don't really know.
You feel
Normal
as though
space?
it's quicker than, like, what you would have in the normal realm. As if you kind of, like... or maybe time's passing differently. It's kind of hard to tell completely. It's an unusual thing that you're kind of, like, just dealing with.
Okay. And do I have an idea of where to go in the penumbra to not end up warping into stone when I return to the normal reality?
Wandering through it, you can kind of move, and you feel like you're moving out into the world. And, like, for a while, it is just seemingly like as if you're in the ground itself, but as soon as you kind of, like, move a certain distance from where you were, you feel like you are shunted. Like, it is a very unnatural feeling, as if something is shoving you around and you have no control over it. Soon after, though, you will find yourself kind of pushed forth into what seems to be reality. Or the surface, at least.
Okay.
It is certainly unnatural and very kind of weird feeling.
Mm-hmm. The shunting or walking in the penumbra and seeing normal?
Well, at first the shunting is incredibly weird because you feel as though you're, like, falling through space in a direction that, while going through something that you don't feel like you can feel. It's like falling through space if space was made of Jell-O. Yeah. It's
That's a description.
really weird feeling. Because you have no control over the direction you're going. You feel like you're falling somewhere. You can't swim against whatever current you're hitting. But everything is just thick. Like, it's not that it doesn't have any resistance, it's just the resistance is unnatural feeling to you.
Does it taste like strawberries?
Tastes like, no.
Oh. Unfortunate.
It has no taste.
All right. Well, when I'm shunted out, am I actually able to see reality as well as the penumbra? Am I seeing them at the same time, or?
Where you're at is the shadow of the real world. So everything seems like it is here, but there are unusual things going on. Strange shadows of beings that are seemingly here. Places that don't actually exist, maybe in the real world. Others that are just strange shadows of what they should be, or completely different looking. And strange holes to realms. Places that seem to be like when awful things or very dark things happened that are just leftovers.
Alright. Do I recognize the place? Where I am?
You think you're somewhere in New York, but it's hard to tell.
How long have I had the power active for? How long did it take to get from...
You're really not sure.
Ah. How much blood do I feel like I have left?
An okay amount,
Oh, okay.
we'll say.
I'm gonna walk around for a bit and see if I can figure out the time dilation thing, or whatever it is. If I am moving quicker or not.
The thing is, you can't tell because you don't see like things around you the same way. People and cars and stuff don't leave spiritual essence as much. Occasionally you see what might be the shadow of a person, but that might be a person that has a higher spiritual sense. There aren't many of those. You do notice that like the entire earth below you has some kind of spiritual sense, as do many of the trees and plants. So going down a street where they have the trees planted along the street, you can sense them. You sort of can tell where you are, but it's hard to understand. Everything is unusual.
Alright, well... I guess I'll try and find a quiet place somewhere there aren't likely to be many people and exit the penumbra.
As you kind of move forward, the area around you seemingly changes for a second. It seems unusual. Like, you don't recognize anything at all, really. But you can find a quiet place, like a back alley somewhere, that you think you could leave successfully.
Preferably somewhere shadowed.
Yes. As you cut your way out, there's just almost kind of like slosh of what seems like it has like the consistency of blood, but it's just jet black that kind of just splashes down to the ground and then just evaporates instantaneously. As you just feel weird and like as if like again like there was this kind of black gunk all over you that just kind of sloshed out with you and then it just kind of evaporates. Back alley somewhere.
I've always wanted the ability to make a dramatic entrance. This could be useful. Smart thing to do following vampire law would be to present myself to the prince. Given that probably people... Well, I don't know how much time's passed, but given that I was in the middle of an explosion, the others probably think I'm dead. But at the same time, anonymity, as Leslie knows from his past life, is useful. I think he's just going to make use of his alternate identities to get on a plane to...
You are not in New York.
Not in New York.
No.
Ooh.
All right.
You do not recognize this city very much.
In that case, I'm going to spend some time wandering around and see if I can figure out what language is being spoken.
Sure. You spend a little bit. And let's see here. What language did you speak?
I speak Russian, German, fluently, basic conversation in Romanian, and I also have the natural linguist merit.
Okay. It's definitely a Russian-type language. You couldn't easily figure out you're in Riga.
Google Riga. Latvia. Oh, that's where I needed to go anyway.
Yep.
Well, ain't that convenient?
You're like, when did I get here? How did I get here? Wasn't I in New
It was
York?
probably the Jello.
Probably the Jello.
It's probably the Jello.
Who needs planes when you have the penumbra? Take a seat on our wonderful first-class walking experience.
You feel awful from traveling through that, but you're just like, "Uah!" Like if you could throw up, you probably would have after that experience.
New York to Latvia in only moments. It only cost you your soul.
All right.
Do you want to spend some time with what the others are doing?
I'm almost done with what you're going to do.
Okay. Because I don't want to
Had to be
take up the
killed
whole
off
stream.
again.
Yeah, I understand.
No, that's okay. I love this because again, I get to rest my voice.
Yeah, I get
Tomorrow
practiced.
when you have to put on the voice again.
It doesn't take
Blessed
you.
Lord of Glory.
It doesn't take you long to find one of your sire's lairs here in Latvia,
Mhm.
but you find out he's not there.
Okay. Is anybody? Well, no, there wouldn't be anybody there, of course. I'm gonna poke around his lair, see if I can figure out what he's been up to in the past however many decades.
Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a lot that tells you what he's been up to. There is actually a note that you will find for you. Leslie.
Oh boy.
If you find this place and I'm not here, okay.
Dear old dad.
Let
He
it
always
go.
had such a way with words.
Just leave a message about what you want. And next time I visit here, I'll look into it.
Is $20 order a pizza boy for dinner?
You
Also-
owe a few years of child support. That's quite literally the note he's leaving.
Are you leaving Simiche's note with that one too?
No, I will hold on to that until I can give it to him in person.
Okay.
I'm not leaving that just laying around.
Okay.
No, even though, like, I know my sire would have hidden his lair fairly well, at the same time...
Fuck that.
You only were to a few of his, but you know that he has a few places in Eastern Europe that he travels between. So he probably will visit this one. Are you leaving your cell phone number? You also now noticed your cell phone is certainly not charged.
I was gonna say, does my phone even work following explosion and
You're
everything
not
else?
sure.
You had a Nokia, it's fine.
To be fair, if he had a Nokia, I had a joke, but I totally lost my train of thought. Anyway, continue.
Acceptable.
I guess I will leave it, although I might need to get a new one. Well, no, I could keep the same phone. Yeah, I guess I'll leave it, and also
You can arrange to have the
mess-
same number, yeah.
yeah, a message saying I might be a bit before I. No, I can get a new phone easily. Yeah, I'll just leave my phone number.
Okay.
You owe child support. Here's my phone number.
Well, you're out in Latvia, in Riga. You have 0 money, no ID on you. Actually, you've noticed that now, too. You have a broken cell phone. You're missing an arm, and it's...
You have a sword blade.
You have a sword that you have to hide somehow from folks noticing.
Back to the old usual. I'm tucking it up in my back underneath my jacket.
It mostly
wait.
hides.
Am I still wearing my clothes that I had?
They're
It's
very
none of that.
they're very tattered and torn up.
Huh. Better than I hoped.
Does Dad still have changes of clothes? in
Yeah,
his,
I'm gonna
things?
See if he has any change.
Sure. He probably has some clothes there you can change into. They look like they're out of the 14th century.
Of course. God damn
Old
it.
Clan Smiche is like classic Dracula. So, I mean...
Smiche?
I'm sorry, not Old Clan Smiche. Old clans in general. I was thinking Smiche for a second. But I mean, like, the Sombra's the same way, old clan members of all the old bloodlines. Especially those Eastern European ones that are oftentimes there.
Perfect. I've always wanted to be a cosplayer.
Alright.
Yeah, just poke around his lair, see if there's anything else I could use, anything useful. I don't know. Maybe he's got a stash of blood.
Nope. Do not find a stash of blood.
Any money?
Sure. You will find 4 gold coins and $1 that a like 20. I'm gonna figure out the Latvian money now. Give me a second.
It's just like that D&D game the kids play. Maybe I'll roll an android someday.
Oh, they just use the euro. Oh, yeah, you find like a... No. You find like a Latvian, like, freaking a lat. Like a 20 lat bill.
Perfect.
Yep. From
All right.
like...
Well,
From like the turn of the century, like last century.
how far is Latvia from Poland?
Walking distance?
Sure.
Yep.
Yep.
So...
I mean, I ain't got much money.
Actually, it's not a great walking distance. Riga to... Let's actually, like, let me actually Google this properly, so I can tell you. Riga to...
Get in a taxi, tell him to take you there. Say that you're gonna tip really well, get out of it.
And give him the 20 lash.
It is from Riga
It's an
to...
antique. You can sell it.
Were you guys in Warsaw? Can't remember.
Oh, that's where we're headed. Or yeah,
Yeah.
we're in Warsaw.
To Warsaw, which would probably be the heart of the old Polish Empire, if you're looking to that anyway, is about 700 miles. 700 kilometers, I'm sorry.
Ah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The proper distance. That's not too bad.
You can always just steal a car, too.
I'll see if I can
Acquire a vehicle.
Yeah, see if I can find somewhere to see if my phone works, see if it'll hold the charge. If not, well, I don't have a phone for the moment.
Yeah, your phone seems... You're not sure what's wrong with it. It turns on, sort of, but everything is, like, sideways. One direction on top and sideways the other way on the bottom. And, like, when you turn it to, like, turn the phone on its side, it turns with it, so it does the same thing still. You're like, God damn it. What? Also, you're not sure what language it's in. You're actually not sure what language it's in. If it's in a language, or if the words are just garbled.
Or it might just be more than one language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It rings and I answer it.
Not again.
Damn abyss telemarketers. I suppose I will see if I can acquire transportation to Poland.
Legally or illegally?
I am a spy. See if I can find an old car that's laying around a hot wire.
Hell yeah.
Sure. You definitely can find a vehicle that seems hot wireable.
Sweet. What do you want me to roll?
Let me figure out what you can roll. Because we've never... we might have had a hot wire car at one point in time, but...
I think so. I think it was security again.
What does security become?
Oh yeah, security was
Security was the same as block picking. The alternative might be streetwise.
Yeah, Streetwise. Probably Streetwise we'll say for hot wiring a car. Streetwise, dexterity.
Shit. Okay, well. Nat 10s, don't fail me now.
Nah, you're not sure how to hotwire a car. You tried, but like, especially this weird older model.
Just wait for someone to unlock their car and go to enter it, and then you drag them down a dark alleyway and you knock them out.
Or you use your incredible good looks and seduce somebody to take you home, and then just knock them out in the car with your demon arm.
Oh god, is Leslie gonna become like a beggar on the street, like one arm and tattered clothes for a month, making up money for, like,
Well, he no longer has tattered clothes. Now he's just got like a
Now he's just in period clothes.
He's not just in period clothes.
This
It's
Are you-
hilarious.
are you in the middle of a game right now?
What?
Are we still on stream?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or are we on break? Okay, so I just didn't know for. It's fine.
You lost yourself for a second.
Well, no, I took a call and then I came back and you guys were talking like very
Oh.
casually. I'm like, are we on? Did you go to break?
No, just some casual B&E.
Yeah, some casual beanie.
okay.
The usual.
Leslie's trying to get to Warsaw, where he might run into you, but he has to.
Leslie's got $20.
He's got 20
Ain't
bucks
$20 because that's 20 lat.
and
He's got
period
fake bucks.
and period Latvian clothes from like the 14th century.
Yeah.
You know what? Is there a pawn shop? Does Latvia have pawn shops?
Probably. Riga probably has a pawn shop. I'd say a good chance of it.
All right,
So
what can I
you're
get for these gold coins?
There are indeed. Oh, you could probably go to like a bank place, the one that's open at this time of night.
I think that's why he was going for pawn shop. Also,
Yeah.
they usually don't require nearly as much ID.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sure. You can find a pawn shop in Riga. It'll take a little looking around. Probably have to ask a few people. Probably find some people that either speak English or Russian, which eventually you could. You're both near Russia, and this was a Soviet-occupied area for quite a long time, you know?
I won't go with English, just sticking to Russian until I can find someone.
Okay. That'll work probably fine. You'll definitely find someone that can speak Russian, and eventually you will be able to find a pawn shop.
I keep forgetting that I switched my key to a toggle mute, not a push. Then yeah, I'm gonna try and use my amazing charisma and natural flair with words to try and get as much for these 3 gold coins as I can.
Yep. So, yeah. Well, apparently 34 people speak Russian at home still, too. The Latvian has been more official language. Interesting.
Neat.
Today we learned.
Learning.
Oh yeah, we always learn stuff on this game.
Uh-huh. Apparently there's some kind of crazy language policy in Latvia, but that's besides the point. Anyway!
Like the layout of zoos in other countries.
Yes. The layout of zoos, so that maybe perhaps you can steal a gorilla.
Germany, please don't revoke our passports.
Or how we learned that the pyramids of Giza were literally right next to Cairo, and they always angle it away from Cairo, so you don't know that fucking city is like...
Wait, really?
It's blocks away! Look at Cairo,
no, it's like,
and where
it's
Giza...
right, like, they're right next to the city, but they have this, like, open area and, like, a V behind the
Oh,
pyramids.
dude, that's weird.
So they
Yep.
keep, like, an angle that you can take this, like, desert picture.
Yeah.
Have some respect for the tombs of your elders.
They're respected. They're like a national like thing. It's just that they're technically right next to the city. You could like go a couple of blocks away and be like, "Oh hey, city."
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Well,
We learned that. I didn't know that. That was amazing.
I didn't know that either.
The things we learned on stream. Anyway,
So instructional.
Sure. You'll be able to get a handful of euros for some classic medieval gold coins. There's only 4 of them. Medieval Latvian coin price. This is going to be like the weirdest thing to freaking look up. Medieval Latvian coins exist.
That's a plus.
FBI going through your search history, like, what the fuck?
14th century. I don't know. They're probably pricey. Okay, there's some images of those really ancient ones. Great. Sure. They're in good shape. Oh yeah. Hey. Oh, cool. Here. So yeah, probably get. It's a pawn shop, so you're not gonna get the full amount. You probably get 200 euros for them all. It's like 50 euros a piece.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Any chance I can talk him up on that?
Perhaps there is. Maybe if you could make a, let's see here. It'd be manipulation plus...
Depending on the coin, they can be from like 20 to 40 bucks a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I was looking there, and there's some ones from that time period that they would have come from in Hungary that go for like 100 bucks. Or 100 euro. And that's euros, so I don't even know how it goes to American dollars.
The one I'm looking at is translated to USD.
I guess it also depends on where it is and how rare it is, too. Also, it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to be... We could use expression, if you're just trying to use your words.
Sure. And could I use charisma instead of manipulation?
Alright, I could see you using charisma if you're trying to be, like, more, like, you're trying to be reasonable, not trying to, like, trick him necessarily or use words that try to convince him.
Yeah.
You're trying to be like, you could probably just give a sad story. You're missing an arm, you're down on your luck.
Your dad's abandoned you, and all he left you were these 3 shitty coins.
All I've got left is these
3
coins.
valuable coins.
You're in another country. You're not from here. You've all look at these coins. Your clothes were torn up except for this period thing that you had lying around. So you're stuck in this. Also,
Deadbeat dads, am I right?
Yeah. Okay, roll your check. We'll see how well you can like convince this dude.
Also, side note, what does specialty smooth talker do again?
I think this will apply.
Isn't
If you roll a 10,
specialties
you can roll.
decrease?
No, if you roll a 10.
Oh no, it's rerolls 10s. Yep.
Yeah.
Ah, that's right. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well then, just do charisma and expression.
Okay.
Hey.
Roll another die. Just roll the single die. Roll a d10. There you go. Okay, it doesn't matter. But still, he'll raise it up. He'd be willing to give you 70 euros for each of them. So you get a decent amount. You'll have 280 euros. And he's actually going to throw in a he's got like in the pawn shop, like an old pair of clothes. Something that's not... Period.
Period.
Bless you, sir. Awesome. Well, I'll take the money, I'll take the clothes, change into them somewhere, toss the other things in a dumpster, and,
So you've got, like, a t-shirt that looks like it probably was, like, imported from America, like one of those ones that, like, gets sent to other parts of the world because no one wants to wear them anymore.
Go Yankees!
Like, the one year the Yankees failed the World Series, it's like the Yankees, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Yankees World Series.
One year they lost.
All right, and I'll find transportation to Warsaw. Legally. Given that I have no IDs or anything.
Yes.
Not even my alternate IDs.
It's true. Alright. You could probably find someone that'll, take you, there, definitely. Let's see here. It's probably like 2010 Yankees, you know, where they put some World Series shirts and they didn't even get to the World Series kind of thing.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
The height of fashion.
And like some jeans with torn knees.
First thing I do when I meet up with Nathan is asking for money to get a suit.
But yeah. Alright, you'll be able to get a taxi into Poland. And we'll actually take our second break here a little early as we're going to be switching to the other group as Leslie heads for Poland. And perhaps we'll meet up with his friends. We'll have to see. So,
We back, baby. God, it feels good.
just one second. So, if you need a drink, a snack, bathroom break, anything like that, go ahead and do it, because apparently also my father needs some help, so perfect timing. So, we'll be back in a little bit. See you, folks.
Later. These socialist countries, we're quite happy with them.
Anyway, welcome back. As Umber and Jess are like showing off their like, we have socialist power, nya nya nya, to us poor Americans.
We've got health care.
It's not anymore, really. It's dying. Help me.
Jess, come to Canada. We can get an apartment together.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, she's got to bring Rob with her.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Can you get him out of? I mean, you were gonna get him out of New York City. Can you get him out of New York State? Because like for me, it would be very hard for me in Pennsylvania, just because there's nothing happens here, and I like that. No bad storms, no earthquakes, no like hurricanes, no tornadoes. You know.
Okay, I don't know why people complain about earthquakes. They barely do anything.
Only the really bad ones, but that's kind of the same with lots of things.
Yeah.
I live in California. No, and even the really bad ones generally only affect you if you live like a mile from the equator, which most people don't.
Tsunamis.
Those seem like
Fuck your shit up.
conveniences.
In California, the earthquakes aren't close enough to the ocean to cause tsunamis. At least not of any major degree.
Yep.
Anyway,
So we switch back to Poland. As you have come into Poland, you arrived into southern Poland on a small biplane. You've now gotten a vehicle and have moved into Warsaw properly. What's your plan now that you're in Warsaw?
Well, I believe we had planned to... Hold on, let me look at my notes.
We went to that one bar and like talked to some people and tried to figure out when they were coming by.
You know,
when the person was coming by.
They're coming tomorrow. That's right. You figured it out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much all we did before we ended.
Yep.
Dawn's trying to convince Nathan to let her get a motorbike so she can be part of the biker gang.
I mean, where are you going to drive it? Do you have a license?
I have a whole 1 point in drive now.
So you maybe have like a basic like car license.
Yeah, maybe.
You still need to learn how to use a motorcycle. What's a clutch?
We'll get you trained on that. Have no fear.
Okay.
You will have a bike soon.
I'm gonna go.
I'll be honest.
Pants, though.
I could totally have seen my character riding a motorcycle when he was in like high school, college.
Yep.
Look, you're Woodlands nerd, so you're like weird.
No, my character is like somewhere between like, you know, athletic and nerd.
Yeah, you're those one of those weird guys that like didn't really fit into one of the molds. So you're not like the scrawny nerd guy, but you're not quite the jock either. So you're just sort of in between.
Yep.
Anyway, all right. So a day will pass for all of you, and what is your plan for going and meeting up with the biker gang when they arrive?
Well, I got leather pants.
I believe Dawn will be going in, at the very least.
I thought we were all going in.
I mean, we can certainly all go in, but you will have to go in as you are a member, whereas neither of us are.
I can do the thing where I go there with me.
Yeah, you were the one. Yeah, you're the one who they gave a jacket to, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm wearing. I haven't taken that jacket off since I got it.
Yes. It's got like a cool skull logo on the back, you know, that kind of thing. Alright. You'll head to the bar, once again. You'll notice that there is a larger number of vehicles on the outside. Inside, the area is rowdy. There are a lot more people inside than you last were in here, a lot more members of the gang, seemingly. And there's a lot more noise. One Dawn kind of steps in. There's kind of a look to her. Well, there's no, you know, the jacket and like, you know, the look that she's got. Kind of like, there's a couple of looks, but nothing says off. And then like, there's a little quieting down as she's followed by Nathan and Emil.
It's Nathan in his cape.
Of course. Always. Nathan is dressed up as the stereotypical vampire.
I'm wearing significantly more appropriate attire. I
So
probably even bought a leather jacket.
it's just
Alternatively, I could stay in the car if you'd like.
like there's some the music's still going, but like a lot of the talking begins to quiet down as everybody starts beginning to turn towards your group.
I actually like you being here for the purposes of attracting vampires.
Yeah.
Although it's
Yep.
Aren't of you saying anything or just standing there in the doorway?
I'm not standing in the doorway. I'm walking in and scooting to the side.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go to the bar and get 3 drinks.
I'm sticking with Dawn.
Where are you from? Wait, give me a second. I remember I can do this. Don't worry. This will be great.
Oh, we said we were a biker gang from England.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
The
Remember
oh
the
gosh,
cover.
it was the I would remember this. It was the something of the night or something like that.
God, yes, this.
English?
Whiskey, please.
Where from?
England.
Northwest.
Do either of you actually have an English accent? You must be from America.
I can fake one.
Uh-huh.
Nobody business.
I can't do accents. Well, Dawn can't do accents either.
Uh,
Y'all need a face?
Pretend.
Maybe make a...
Okay, Nathan's the face. It's just a face that doesn't blend into this situation.
Maybe like make a let's see here. Manipulation subterfuge, we'll say. Oh no, charisma
Not-
subterfuge. Charisma subterfuge for a good accent. Say.
Not performance?
You know what? Actually performance I'll take. Yeah.
Okay.
Performance
Charisma
or
per-
subterfuge. You could like pass it off you have like a bad by like kind of like lying about an accent or performing a bad accent. Your choice.
Actually better. Let's go performance.
Uh-huh.
That's what won it for you last time.
Fuck.
And I'm guessing my acting specialty would work.
Sure.
Start doing an Australian accent instead on accident.
I mean, Nathan sounds like he's from England. Yeah, for sure.
I immigrated.
Yeah. You'll see the bartender like kind of like smack some guy at the bar and like point towards them and then yell off, Mouth du nicht! Ah! Hello! From England, yes?
Indeed.
Why are you here?
We were sent here to add our numbers to yours.
I'm gonna turn around and point at my jacket.
Yeah. We don't have gangs in England.
Ah, not yet.
Not yet, you don't.
Ouch, say ich gang, sagtel sie wie Angel. Powim imski, powered disease, Zwifawi. Oh my god, I'm butchering Polish. Oh god, Google Translate still makes it hard. Polish! Oh, German was easy. Let me... give me a second. Gang Privjaskil the Angel! And then you'll hear like one over like Angela Dalek Zeglo do da blah blah do la sraza do nas Angela.
We won some sort of arm wrestling contest in, where was it?
Tajne Krutki?
Regardless, that's what got us the coat. They thought that perhaps we would be an excellent addition to your rowdy bunch.
Why did you be sent here?
We were told this was where a larger meeting with more of the leadership would be, and that the people we rammed their arms into the table were not authorized, essentially, to add us to your group, and that we would need to speak to someone higher up. I'm guessing from your confusion, that's probably not.
Stay here. Ktoś powinien powodzić się w bani. Like the guy's been translating will say that, and then he'll kind of look around as all the others around him seemingly are looking towards him. Guano.
Did you just say shit in this?
I believe he said shit because they're expecting him to go talk to someone, and he doesn't want to.
Oh, I get that.
That would be my guess.
That's pretty accurate.
That's what I thought.
He's gonna go upstairs then. Seemingly up a back stairs that's kind of closed off.
Oh. Hopefully the challenge won't be arm wrestling this time. Am I right?
Yeah.
I could take him.
The guy will come back down and be like, "Boss will see you."
Ah, excellent. Shall we?
Okay, come. He's gonna lead you upstairs. And, There'll be a like a smaller upper room where you can see that there's like a bunch of other gang types kind of sitting around the room, seemingly just kind of like loafing around. There's a woman kind of up on a bar stool pulled up. You see that she's kind of got like leather jacket on, long blonde hair, looking kind of mean. You can see that there's like kind of tattoos sprawled across her like top of her chest and stuff, and all down her arms and stuff. There seems to be a bunch of other tough men and women all here, kind of like sitting around.
Are any of them vampires?
Do you have aspects of some kind?
Nope.
Please.
Yes?
I need to get here and use aspects immediately.
I'm
Does she
sorry,
react
the number
at
you
all
have
to
dialed
me?
is not in service.
Does she react at all to me looking like a stereotypical vampire?
Currently, no.
Does she react to me not so subtly checking her out?
Currently, no.
Fuck.
Hello, we're here looking for the Apacia. Not just an Apacia.
She's gonna kind of kind of wave the man that brought you up back downstairs, as he kind of will like look back for a moment to move down.
I'll smile with teeth.
Who's asking? You'll hear one of the men next to her kind of ask.
Ah, a messenger. From a long-lost family member.
You got a name?
I do. Do you?
He's kind of gonna sneer at you, like obviously upset with your entire thing.
I'll smile nicely at him.
If you recall, I asked for the Apacia, not an Apacia, and as my message is for her, I'd rather some assurances that she is the one I'm looking for, as I tend to be a very expensive messenger.
Give me a second here. The man will kind of turn towards the woman and go, Onlar Atlar Talar. Anlari Uldulurme Miz. The woman will kind of like look with like at the question. You can tell you asked a question, like looking at it like. She's gonna go. Fauzala. Konus. Malarani Sagala. Look, answer some questions, or we're going to have to get rough with you. We just want information. Stop being cryptic asshole.
Alright, what information would you like?
Who the hell sent you? Why shouldn't we not kill you?
Well, who sent us, as I mentioned, is an old family member of the Apostle. As far as why you shouldn't kill us, well, the message cannot be delivered while we're dead. Unless she has some power to influence the dead, perhaps?
What message do you have?
I have a message for the Apostle, as I mentioned before.
Speak your message, and Apostle should get it.
And how do I know that?
You don't.
Well, this is again why I am an expensive messenger. Is there to be some sort of test like the arm wrestling we experienced last time? Or perhaps something simpler?
Onlari odurem really niem luften? Arkadaki. You'll see a smirk, like a fanged smirk kind of go across the man's face as a lot of the men are now standing up and moving towards Emil, pulling out weapons.
Excellent. The fun kind of test.
I saw that it was a fanged smile, alright?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll give one right back.
Yup.
Yeah, I do too.
Don't worry, messenger. You'll be left alive. For now.
Ah.
Okay, so there are 15 dudes seemingly walking towards you.
Towards me specifically?
Towards you specifically!
Yeah.
Okay.
They only seem to be interested in Emil right now.
Okay.
You get the feeling that maybe the conversation was perhaps something about, can we kill them, please? And it's like, the one in the back for now.
Yay! This is gonna be fun.
Yep.
In the meantime, Leslie, you find yourself dumped off without a euro to you in Poland. Because it cost you probably all your money to get here.
We're speeding that travel up a little bit, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, you started the travel a while ago.
Yeah.
Fair. Just dumped off from Warsaw?
Yeah, you're just kind of dumped off in Warsaw. Probably the train. Like the train station.
Train station, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Guess I'll go find the prince.
Okay.
All I know is I was told to go to Warsaw after Latvia, so
Mm-hmm.
I as well present myself to the prince.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me just check who it is. Poland. Yeah, there's a lot of problems going on in Poland. So, did I tell you guys who was the Prince of Poland?
I don't believe you told us who the prince was, but you did tell us that it was, I think, mainly Sabat control.
No. It was the Ordea League.
Hold up, what?
It's the Ordea League that gets in control.
Oh, then no, I don't believe you did tell us.
But there is some battles between the Sabat and Camarilla. There's basically 3 powers that are at force in here.
Okay, just rolling things back. Because I know Europe, because I spent so much time in Europe. What areas are controlled by the Sabat?
It's a mixed bag of actual control. The Ordea League you might have heard about because probably you heard about them from your sire. Because your sire was under sort of their protection to a degree. The Ordea League is basically an alliance of a few dozen old clan Semiche elders who didn't bow before the Sabat. And they basically control Eastern Europe pretty well, or have a lot of influence in Eastern Europe. Hence why your sire, as an old La Sombra elder, was able to get protection kind of under him, because these Semiche and La Sombra do have a traditional kind of connection to each other. So you know that the Ordea League probably has some influence here in Warsaw. As for the modern, like, who's technically the prince, who is technically in charge here and there, hard to say.
So I don't know who the prince is. And I know that this is water in this area.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's a mixed bag of, like, who's technically in charge, as there's been a
Okay,
lot
I'm
of...
keeping my head down, sorry.
Yeah, there's been a lot of battles between the Sabat and Camarilla in Poland, actually. It's one of the major battlegrounds.
You know what?
You guys are probably on your own, because,
If you get your phone fixed, you could maybe call somebody.
money.
Bitch, you don't have to do it legally. You could just steal a phone and put your old SIM card in it.
That's true.
I'm keeping my head down. The Sabat do not do good things to La Sombra Anti-Tribu. They do very, very nasty things to La Sombra Anti-Tribu.
Who's to know?
Yeah, if you just pickpocket someone's phone with your invisible arm, who's gonna know?
Leslie's gonna spend some time trying to subtly figure out how the city works. With this,
there is a Camarilla prince in Warsaw right now. If you want to know, so there is some Camarilla elephants in Warsaw, but again, like there is large battles between the Sabat that go on here. Like, as much as like Sabat do have influence in a lot of places like New York City and stuff, this is a place that there's a lot of dispute.
Do I know that Prince is Camarilla?
Make a whatever the frick we called vampire thing check. Was it intelligence? Politics? Yeah.
Yep.
How's politics? There it is.
Oh, you do. You
do.
actually know there a Toreador from the area called Hannah Busek is the prince in Warsaw here. Mm-hmm. She only has a mild control over the territory here, as again, like, you also have heard that within the recent like years there was a huge Sabat crusade in the area that devastated both sides. The Camarilla managed to maintain control, but it's not great. And let's see here. Where's the other big Polish city off the top of my head? I can't remember it now. I have to look up Poland map. Sorry. Oh. You know that Krakow is a city that's under, like, a much more difficult control. It's kind of like a much more like kind of other cities are worse. We'll just say that here.
Worse in the sense that the Sabat hold more control in Krakow?
It's more that, like, there's a lot more chaos in there. Szczytny, which is, if I can check my Szczytny, which I have no idea where this is on the map of Poland. Okay, Szczytny, I've found it now, which is Western Poland, was the city that the large crusade with the Sabat versus the Camarilla, where a lot of forces from both of them met in battle there in the
the
Polish
northeast
vampire
there.
community, like the northwest of Poland.
Or west. I always
Yeah.
flip 'em.
Oh, I sometimes do, like, I have to be like, wait a second, which is left and right. My brain sometimes breaks with that, and I have to be like, L for left, yes. Which way am I going?
All right.
But you're
I'm-
you're in the eastern side in Warsaw right now, so
yeah,
you're not.
Yeah.
You're probably the farthest away from where the main battlegrounds have been. Doesn't mean that there isn't problems here.
I'm gonna be as inconspicuous as I possibly can. Get to the and have as few people see me as possible. And make my way towards wherever the prince has her headquarters. And what's the word? Not appeal. Well, appeal for a private audience.
Okay. Yeah, you'll be able to get an audience with Hannah. She is seemingly like a slightly plain woman, but what you can see is that she seemingly has an incredible passion for art. When you meet with her, it's in a kind of small estate on the outskirts of Warsaw, which you'll manage to get to. She's going to be actually in like a room which it's like almost like a kind of like one of those greenhouse like conservatories, so it's all the glass and stuff in the building, and she's going to be painting there. What brings you to Warsaw?
Sorry, brain's gone on two different tracks for a second.
You were told to that.
Yeah.
They said your family would be here.
Yeah. One with far greater stature than I implied that I should make my way here to meet some family.
Well, if you are looking for your sire or your other child of your sire, I cannot help you with that, perhaps. We do not have a great number of your clan here. Your credentials were checked with Helena, who is surprised to hear you alive in Europe.
As am I. It is a long story, and I'm not sure how much of it is mine to tell.
Well, that is for you and your prince to discuss when you finally are able to return home. But it seems that you are lucky to be alive, having been missing for a period of time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anyway,
I'm
you
also
are
going
here in
to.
Warsaw.
I'm also going to try and get on her good side. Is there a check I could do to basically admire the art, since she seems to be a fan of the art?
Sure. I will give me empathy perception
Empathy perception.
to give it an appropriate kind of like you look at the art and give an appropriate kind of like understanding of the emotion, etc., of the art itself. You know.
And I'm going to spend a willpower on it.
Okay.
Look, this is a hot area. I need every ally I can get.
You're just gonna come to the bar.
Don't worry, I've got that set up.
Even with
Oh,
that,
hell yeah.
The funny
can't-
part is, she doesn't know we're here.
Nope.
Yeah, we didn't go.
She does know someone else is here, though.
even when I do link up with you guys, I can't use my powers here very freely. I'm very limited. So I have to fall back on my charisma and spycraft.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Just be there to cheer. It's okay.
Okay. You give a good assessment of it. That seems very interesting. She'll kind of turn towards you and a patron of the arts. Or at least you've got an eye for a little bit of it. Excellent. You'll fit in here well. Be careful, though. I'd stay away from insert bar name here because I can't remember that. Warsaw is a city that is still under much tension. And some force of the Sabat that run a biker gang is there. We've heard tell that they should actually be coming in some point this evening.
Y'all are on your own.
Leaders.
Sorry. What was her name?
The princess?
Yes.
Hannah Busek.
Hannah Busek?
I'll put the spelling in the chat. Hannah, because it's Buszek. Hannah Busek.
Hannah Busek. Anyway, yeah, she continues. Sorry for that.
Sure.
The bar, something about spot bar.
Warsaw is a town that has much tension in it. Dangerous amounts of tension.
Indeed.
And there seems to be interesting new players in town. I've heard tale that of a woman in a biker jacket, a grisly-looking man, and a strange man in a cape. Looks like he's dressed like a vampire from a movie are wandering around there.
Seems a rather motley crew.
We worry that there's some kind of meeting going down, something of danger. We've been preparing some forces to perhaps root them out of the bar. We don't know if we have enough.
Are they Sabat affiliated?
The bar itself? The biker gang seems to be one that's in much of Europe, though they are stationed here in Poland too. The gang itself seems mostly mortal, but there are just enough of Sabat vampires, Sabat kindred in them, to make them dangerous.
Indeed. A large part and above and beyond the mandatory etiquette of seeking an audience with you. This is a rather dangerous area for one of my clan, or clanless.
We'll keep an eye out for the Skiths. A name which sounds familiar from you, because you were there for the Skiths.
I was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Run it by me.
They are Apatia's biker gang, where you ran into them when Samuel got kidnapped. You were there for Samuel getting kidnapped. In Romania. Yeah. You dealt with a Sabat biker gang in Romania that apparently this is also connected to that. Here, in Poland.
I don't remember that at all.
It wasn't very much of it.
Well then, when are you looking to make your move? I would happily, given that I have no current assignments or missions of my own, I will happily pledge my assistance to you in exchange for protection.
I'm going to
in
spend
this.
some men to check it out later on this evening. Perhaps if you're with them, they can go now. Keep an eye on them for now. See if we can organize something. Your abilities might be good if we need to make a getaway.
Indeed. Though I would prefer to have that as a last resort.
That's fine.
There are many tales of what the Sabat do to anti-tribu. And my sire, if there was one thing he impressed upon me, it was to avoid contact with them as much as possible. I will happily support your men, though. Though, would you happen to have weapons or equipment I could borrow?
They can arm you up. You can get some small arms fire, probably a shotgun. They'll probably... Shotguns are good for taking out vampires. You know, shotgun blast to the head tends to take them down. So pistols
Fair.
in case you need to take out some mortal scum, and shotguns for the vampires.
Nice.
Then
As you arrive, you get to see two familiar-looking figures with someone you've never seen before walk into the bar. Dawn and Nathan go in there.
my old friends.
Almost
Almost not
family.
a bar fight.
Just hang back for now. Knowing these people, we will soon have a distraction we can use.
Uh-huh.
That's one way to say it.
You know what? That's the best best compliment I've ever been given.
The one in broken English will a little later on says, "I am sensing hostility from the upper floor. My auspex reads that's where the majority of..." I've got like a German accent now, but it's Polish. It's totally supposed to be about this.
I mean,
It's definitely Polish.
given that German is spoken pretty commonly, I could probably converse with him in German.
Yeah, it's his neighbor. But he'll be like, he'll be like, I've been watching the vampire. It looks as though the vampire is on the upper floor. I cannot tell them very easily. I am very skilled at auspex, but not skilled enough to get perfect from this distance. Fortunately, it seems that none have noticed us. I'm guessing what's happening is like one of them is skilled in obtenebration, the other is skilled in or not obtenebration, obfuscate. Gotcha. I think there's food for me.
Obfuscate, he can go invisible?
He's kind of like keeping things on the down low for you guys, the obfuscate kind of guy. And then the auspex one, they're specialists. So they're very big specialists, kind of like keeping an eye on things. And he says like, seems like the vampire meeting is going very badly. There seems to be a great deal of hostility up there. Our men are not in place to attack if something goes down right now. And if they are distraction, they might be dying soon.
What specialists do I have with me?
Those are the two guys. An obfuscate guy and an auspex guy.
Okay.
So it's you two, those two in the front and you in the back seat, with a shotgun and a pistol.
Okay. I'm gonna take a quick look around, see if there's any external ways up to the top floor.
Oh, sure. There's like a window on the outside.
Okay.
It's probably like it's a bar. It's got like one of those kind of like awning kind of things in the front because it's a biker bar. It's a Polish biker bar. It's got like a bunch of motorcycles on the outside too. Are you gonna burst in through a window?
I mean, breach and clear, baby.
Batman.
Yeah.
I'm thinking siege, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the obfuscation guy, how confident are you in your abilities to keep us hidden?
You're trying to help those inside. If you know that they are perhaps not enemies, then
I can vouch for that. Yes.
Then, if you can get close to them, I might be able to obscure you all.
Understood. And to the Auspex one, do you sense any other vampires aside from us and the ones on the floor?
There are 16 up there.
Oh, they aren't mortal. Lovely.
The ones on the bottom
just
floor
good.
are mortal. There are about 30 of them on the bottom floor. All
That's
mortal.
just good. This just became much more exciting. Alright, I'm gonna move my
Not
team
sure
up
how
to
many
the...
of them are knowledgeable of our kind. How many of them are direct servants. And how many are just gang members.
Does Auspex allow you to have an idea of what clans there are? Planet persons?
It might. I'm just going to say however many successes he needed to do that kind of thing, he did not get them.
Fair. Moving the team up to the window then.
Okay. So they'll be at the window, kind of watching out. You'll notice that a bunch of the gang members seem to be approaching the third member of the people in there. This kind of like, seemingly like scrawny yet not scrawny guy. I don't know how to describe Emil other than like, rough guy.
Oh, I am pretty burly. I'm like 6 foot tall and pretty muscular.
Okay, there's the burly guy that they got in the back. It looks like I got some muscle with them, maybe. Like they needed it with Dawn, but maybe they hired on another thug. You never know. It could be another hired goon.
Only a few months and they've already replaced me.
I mean, they hire on
Truly a
goons a
shame.
lot. The guys hired on
I know,
a lot
but-
of goons.
Mm-hmm.
Things work best when we have goons.
Mm-hmm.
Thank goodness you brought goon power, Leslie.
I got superpower goons. Long shot. Do either of you have a grenade?
They shake their heads no.
Shit, Cole would have lived.
Wait.
I mean, if they're...
I don't have explosion grenade, but my friend has large flash of light grenade.
That'll do. Vampires are still susceptible to a flashbang, right?
You can still get like your at least your like vision because it's a bright flash. Yeah, and it's a lot of sound. It's probably less effective on a vampire than it is on a mortal. It won't like stun them for sure, but it would like mess them up for a second, definitely.
Mm-hmm. How bright is it
Probably
in
one
there?
turn versus multiple.
Yeah.
How bright is it inside?
Decent, like normal inside light, just like so pretty bright. I'd say a little like not like total brightness. It's like sleazy bar light.
Perfect. So there's shadows.
There are shadows.
All right.
Anyway, also, on my end, there's probably a look at Nathan of all out, or just like this look of like all out. Can I go all out?
This woman's like ready to reach for her shotgun and like anything could as soon as like Nathan gives it okay.
These
a
guys are
messenger,
approaching me.
My entourage should also be guaranteed safety.
Give me a perception alertness, Leslie, to overhear this, to see for a point in time for your. Or you're just gonna kind of enter.
Not yet. We're getting information.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like that you hear Nathan say that.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Have these people stopped moving towards me yet, or?
Oh.
It's like 2 more steps closer, and I'm going. I'm bringing out my claws at the very least.
Some of them probably have already done that.
How far apart are the
Okay.
groups?
They're like circling them in the room. Like these guys are kind of like in the middle of the room. Your 2 associates plus their thug.
So they're currently circled around the gang?
They're kind of circling around the gang. Yeah.
They're
Okay.
probably moving somewhat towards Emil, though.
Yeah. It looks like they're kind of like circling around back more. There's a couple of them that seem maybe like are coming up front to like maybe just intimidate Dawn and Nathan. The majority of them are kind of moving around back though. Kind of like
Okay.
walking
And-
sideways, kind of like that sidestepping, pulling out some
And if
weapons.
we're attacked, I cannot be held responsible for the damage inflicted upon those of you who do so.
Yeah, I don't know what position you have, but if you do, you see my hands go behind my back, and you see me grow claws.
Exciting. Gonna signal to flashbang guy to prep it. Give him a countdown: 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna bash the window. He's gonna toss the flashbang into the center, and I'm just gonna shout out, "Nathan, eyes!"
Oh, son of a bitch!
Like, you're probably really confused as you just hear a familiar voice yell, "Nathan, eyes!" And it's like all of a sudden, psh, oh, God!
Did you see what I did? I said, son of a bitch! I closed my eyes.
One did not.
No one else did except Nathan.
One is just
Yeah,
looking around confused and then is blind.
I look towards the voice.
Might have kept you from seeing the nade. Who knows?
Might have actually.
Okay. There has
Yeah.
been a flashbang. Why don't we leave it here before we figure out what's going to happen next?
Oh, I'm so excited though.
We actually get to
Right?
fight. I am honestly really happy about this. Nathan, super unhappy about this.
John, happy about this. Me, happy about this.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a warning out.
I'll be honest. I'm pretty happy about the fact that I get to show up and make amends for my mistakes of last time. Show my strength this time.
Yeah. And then we
And go all out.
There's 16.
Oh, there's 15 next to me, there are like a couple more.
There's 15 that seemingly are on the attack, and one that's just sitting back, who's probably their leader and much more powerful. She hasn't done anything. She's in fact like in between you and them, as there's like she's in like a seat sitting down, like on a stool.
I got my little team here. We'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it, we gotta wait a week. This is always the worst part.
Mm-hmm. It's always the worst part. But hey, Leslie has found his friends again! And he's alive! And they don't actually sort of know that yet. They just heard a voice yell Nathan Eyes that sounded familiar.
Oh, I know that
two
voice.
of you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that voice.
Yeah, you're so confused right now.
It's like people coming at me. Oh crap! Is there someone else from behind? Flash.
It's like you just hear something like Nathan Eyes. Ah, God. Anyway, but no. So yes, we're ending it here. As Adventures in Poland have certainly heated up, and there might be a battle ensuing. We'll see how things go here. Certainly, there's been a spark to it all. A bunch of thugs are maybe wanting to break it down. But
Also out of character, Nathan. Why didn't you just drop a couple keywords and see what happened?
I mean, he was dropping some keywords. He dropped the whole family and raising
Yes.
the dead thing.
yes,
That's true.
I did drop those. I also didn't want to say it if this was a figurehead of Apacia that wasn't the real one.
Oh, I'm pretty sure she's a figurehead.
I'm into her either way. Any female vampire Dawn comes across, it's just like, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Helena. Helena scares her.
Wait. Which Helena?
Shit, yeah.
Both.
Both, yeah.
It's what, like, it's Helena, your prince, and Helena, the
The
powerful...
Toreador that we were told to be very, very wary of.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Because she's not trustworthy, she's out for herself.
So's everyone else.
I know. But some of them are out for themselves and something else, too.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We're all out for ourselves and the mission we're on, so all of ourselves kind of coincide.
Yep. While, like, Helena the Toreador is just like, myself, and some more of myself. But anyway, so, let's give shoutouts, who you are, where to find you, etc., all that stuff. We'll kind of go around the group. Hey, Umber, how about it? You got anything to shout out about yourself for in existence?
Greetings. My name is Leslie, and it is a pleasure to meet you.
Uh-huh.
Not really.
Yep.
I haven't really been streaming because life stuff.
Yep.
But if you want, normal twitch.tv/Umber Skies. Otherwise, just follow these other people and watch what they do.
Cool.
Especially Tantus, so you can see more of the madness.
There's a lot of madness.
Well, Madness is the earlier game.
Yeah, madness.
Yeah.
No.
No, Madness is later. Madness is Thursday.
Madness
right?
is Thursday.
Oh, okay.
No.
Got it.
Madness was the one that was on Thursdays that got replaced. That
Oh,
might come
okay.
back at some point in time when I decide to resurrect that one, like a couple more years down the line, so no one remembers the awful things I did in that game. Lots of good DMing lessons. When you get good DMing lessons, it's fun. Thank you.
Indeed.
Worm.
I am Diamondwyrm. You can find me on twitch.tv/Diamondwyrm and at Diamondwyrm on Twitter. I will be streaming on Fridays, most likely. And if not this Friday, then definitely next Friday. But, yeah.
Okay. Carpe.
I am the CarpeDM. You can mostly find me retweeting cool stuff on Twitter, although occasionally I do stream on my Twitch page, twitch.tv/TheCarpeDM. Pretty much everywhere you can find me as TheCarpeDM. I'm pretty omnipresent.
And Jess.
I am Bubblegum Viking, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and either tomorrow, depending on how my voice is, might be the start of the reading through 4 fucking Harry Potter books on stream because we hit our donation goal for Black Lives Matter.
And it's great.
4 books.
Have you started yet?
No, I gave myself like until July to start because I was like, June is fucked. Fuck June.
That's entirely fair.
I mean, overall 2020.
Yeah,
yeah,
2020's been pretty
June
bad.
especially.
But we got Leslie back this month.
We did on the last day of June.
Makes
Yeah,
up for
things are looking up.
And I am quite happy to be back.
As for myself, Dungeons & Dragons Dracovin, I'm here very often, most days. We're more RPGs. Thursday, 8 p.m. EST for Children of Wrath, the D&D meets Magic the Gathering game. We're playing D&D. We're set in the Magic of the Gathering world of Dominaria. Pretty fun game there. A lot of chaotic stuff happens in that one. As most of my games, apparently. Discussing tabletop, Saturday, 2 p.m. Grinding Gears at 7 p.m. on Sunday, which has been pretty fun. I get to be a player there. My good friend Joe runs it on my channel here. And then, that should be the main thing. I might stream some stuff here and there. I don't know. If I'm streaming a video game, I'll stream a video game. I've been kind of like hit and miss for that one. So, hey, if you see it or not. I'll probably be doing some of that on Friday with Worm, hopefully, if we can figure out a game. Anyway,
Cool.
hopefully we'll all be here next week for more vampire fun times, where there's going to be some a rumble in the bar, it looks like.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe.
all right.
Yeah, 15 vampire thugs are still nothing to be scoffed at now.
Yeah!
Well, it depends on how old they are.
Right.
I mean,
Especially when...
there's a lot of them. It's less that there's, like, maybe they're not the toughest. It's the normal Sabat strategy. Numbers over strength. Sometimes it does actually work occasionally, because, you know, numbers can win sometimes. You can just overwhelm someone with them.
And you have one person who has no intention of using their combat abilities.
No. Anyway,
Fuck no.
so,
But you have one person who's going to be able to use a pistol.
we're going to run off, though. Hope you have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, if you can't join me for anything else. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane in that world out here. And, hey, July's next tomorrow. Let's see if July's a little better of a month than the last one. Let's hope for it, you know? But until next week, see you later.
See you
Farewell!
next time on the Legacies of Caine.